First order of business is to read the minutes from the last time we met and approve them. If you guys have had a chance to read the minutes from the last time we met, I'd entertain a motion to approve them.
I so moved.
Okay. Second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So now, moving on to the agenda for the new business, for a public hearing for a, call it a public hearing to open the public hearing. Okay, and we'll, and it's about a variance for the Ambar subdivision, filing number 1, lot 1, for the placement of a freestanding pole sign within 1,000 feet of the edge of the interstate right-of-way with a sign area of 1,250 square foot, which exceeds the allowed signage area of 300 square foot, as well as a freestanding pole sign with a sign area of 100 square foot and 30 foot in height. Okay, the hearing is open, and we'll start with Tyler and the staff report.
All right, thank you, sir. I'm going to turn off this slide real quick, so if you want to look behind me, you can see that a little clearer. And to your left will be the, well, both of them, never mind. So here we go. All right, so this request, as filed by EES, is for the variance for the maximum sign area as well as height. That was one element that I forgot to put in there, but added later on. There are 2 proposed signs. One is a freestanding pole sign within 1,000 feet of the edge of the interstate right-of-way that has a proposed sign area, and this was updated from the original 1,250 feet to 1,271 feet. The plans have been updated since the original submission, which exceeds the allowed sign area of just 300 square feet. Another request in this is a freestanding pole sign with a sign area of 96.7 square feet, which is a change from the original 100 square feet, and 30 feet in height. The 96.7 exceeds the allowed sign area of 75 square feet in our code, and the height of 25 feet stated in the aforementioned code. The subject property is zoned commercial. It's up there on the screen. That's where Maverick is slated to break ground, hopefully within the next 60 days. And our variance criteria as laid out within our land use code calls for all the necessary publications. I have the sign posted on site there, the letter that went out to property owners, and I forgot to take the picture of the one that was published in the newspaper. But the public notifications are there. And then the Board of Adjustment's role here. There's a language from our code. Bottom line, the Board of Adjustment serves as an appeals process from the adopted land use standards that we have. Within our code, this is the screenshot, specifically in that section 1612.310. I circled on there. You can see the 75 feet and the 300 square feet for the 2 different types of freestanding pole signs, and then the height of the 25 feet there. So all 3 of those, again, are exceptions that are being requested for these signs. Those are also screenshots from our land use code, which when the sign code was updated back in 2018 or whatever it was, they added visuals, which has been very helpful in discussions with a lot of business owners. Just kind of a side note there. But same information, just in a visual format. This is the sign details for the site plan for Maverick, where all their signage is going to be located. I did go through that. All the other signage does conform to code. It's just the specific request that we have here that the variance is for. I did appreciate these, so as you're coming down the interstate, I'll give you a general idea of what it will probably look like. So this is heading east. You can see the Love's, existing Love sign on the right. So Maverick will look something like that over on the left. And then going in the opposite direction, headed west, it would look like that over there on the right side. And then these are the actual plan details of those, and you can see the little scalability of the little hiker down there at the bottom, 100 feet tall versus your 6 foot tall person. So pretty big sign, but for a reason for that, which we'll of course go over through this report. And then the smaller sign, this is not the interstate one, but the other freestanding pole sign there being 30 feet high. So the criteria, just as a main thing that we go for consistency, under no circumstance shall a variance be granted on the sole basis of personal convenience, profit, or special privilege to the applicant. And then our code lists all the different 9 criteria that we go through. And then as part of our application process, the applicant is required to address each one of those. And then I compile all that information, put it in your staff report, and then add my own comments as well. So going through the application here, the applicant, EES, is working on behalf of the property owner, which is Maverick QOZB 2023 LLC, and requesting this variance. The property owner is planning on constructing a Maverick gas station, and these signs are part of the site development. The request is tied to support for the success of the proposed development, in that 60% of fueling station traffic is generated by pass-by traffic and not typically a destination. As such, and that the site is adjacent to I-76 and high-speed traffic, the applicant states that it is imperative that travelers can see the signage early and make safe traffic movements to exit the interstate. Maybe in layman's terms, simply that a lot of times you don't plan on going to that gas station, but you're driving down the road, you see the big sign, you look down at your fuel tank, or you feel your stomach growling, or your bladder, and you say, I'm gonna pull off right here, generating unexpected customer traffic. The topography was also stated in some of the responses, that the site itself is approximately 15 to 20 feet below the adjacent I-76 roadway, and the proposed signage location will also be 200 to 250 feet north of I-76 due to the CDOT off-ramp and the right-of-way that they have. The existing overhead utility lines and the easements on the south side of the property also push everything further to the north as part of that 200 to 250 feet. And this large setback from the adjacent interstate requires an increased signage area to make legible to traffic passing through. Furthermore, and I didn't know this, fueling stations are required to provide fueling prices on their signs, and the existing limitation of 300 square feet of sign area would require a reduction in sign area that would make the signs function of little use and fitting everything within that 300 square feet. Due to the adjacent parcels also being commercial and the proposed location of the sign being on the west side of the property, no injurious impacts or diminishment of property values or uses are expected. In addition, the proposed variance request is compatible with the signage for Love's across the interstate, which was granted back in 2016. And in case you're curious, those sign areas for the larger one is 1,121 feet, I'll round up there, for the larger sign, and then they have an additional pole sign on there that's 113.5 square feet, also over the 75-foot limitations. So the Board of Adjustment has different options as always. You can approve, you can deny, or you can approve with conditions. So if approved, staff recommends an approval with these following 4 conditions, and I'll read these through for the record. The variance will be invalid if appropriate sign permits and subsequent inspection approvals are not obtained. If construction of sign does not commence within 1 year of approval of the variance will no longer be valid. 3, construction design is to be in accordance with what was submitted as part of the application or updated versions that we've had since then. And any changes must be further approved by the city administrator. And the last one, if the area of either or both signs is ever to be changed by more than 10% and still exceeds code limitations, the city administrator is authorized to approve or deny those changes or require that the changes come back before the Board of Adjustment for approval or denial. So those are the conditions I recommend, and those always can be adjusted or changed if you're not happy with any of those either, or find further cost to do anything with them tonight. And that is my presentation. Any
Great.
questions?
Does anybody have any questions of Tyler?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Okay, the applicant, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I was just here if you guys had any questions, Maverick related, happy to be here to answer any of them.
No. And we have nobody here from the public. So, final question, does anybody have any final questions before we make a decision? Okay, would somebody like to make a motion that we approve the variance?
Did you need to close the public hearing first?
Okay, that's not on here. If it is, I didn't see it, I guess. Okay, so we'll close the public hearing.
Can you please ask for a motion?
Oh, okay, it's on the other sheet, okay. Okay, close the public hearing, and since there's no other comments, then I'll ask for a motion to approve the variance.
Actually, ask for a motion to first close the public hearing, approve the closing of it, and then.
Okay, you think I hadn't done this before,
That's
huh?
all right, it's all right. It's not-
Haven't done it often enough, I
Most
guess.
people don't
Okay,
normally
so,
think that way, so it's all right.
somebody make a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, we'll decide, okay. Now, make a motion to act on the variance.
I make a motion we approve the variance.
I'd second that.
Okay, any discussion, questions?
Could I please amend that motion to include with the conditions recommended by staff?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the variance, as long as they meet the conditions set forth by the city.
If I can ask a question, Krista, any concerns with those conditions?
You know, I guess one question, they should start construction within a year.
Yeah.
Because it's a 2025 store to open, so that should be no issue if it starts getting tight, we just have to come back here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
Yeah, that was
Within
the
1
only-
year of approval of variance.
Like I said,
yeah.
they're planning to open the store this year, so signs should be constructed.
Okay.
That's the only one I was
Okay,
questioning. But yeah, no, other than that, we're good.
okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All three voted unanimous, okay. So, the variance passes with the conditions being met that are on there, and we'll have no unfinished business. Now I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
We're out of here.
They need to pay us more money for that.
I think they need to pay you more too. This is one of the easiest public hearings.
Yeah, this is real nice.
Outstanding.